What's good, YouTube? I'm Quasar.
And I'm Nova.
And we're the Chronomaly Kings. So today we wanted to talk to you guys about the Zoodiacs and how to counter them, because this looks like it's going to be the main deck of the next format. A lot of people are really struggling to beat this deck. Everyone's just either playing this as like a pure deck or they're mixing it in with some other engine. But like pretty much every meta deck right now has some sort of at least Zoodiac engine in the deck. So we felt that this deck, obviously when it comes out, everyone's going to want to play it, and it's probably going to be really expensive. So if you can't afford it, we're going to talk to you guys about some options on how to counter the Zoodiacs.
Yeah, counter the deck. So first off, you want to understand basically a little bit about this deck. So we're gonna showcase one card. Now it's not English, obviously, but we're gonna give a gist about it. This one you're gonna see this one's gonna be played at 3 copies.
Yeah, everyone, like, even if they don't play a full
Zoodiac
deck,
this
like,
one's gonna be
they're gonna be
3.
playing this 3. So this is your Zoodiac Mole Rat.
Yeah. So basically, this card's effect is when it's used as an Xyz material, you get the monster gains the effect. You can detach one Xyz material, special summon one from your deck.
Yeah, you get to summon another Mole Rat, which essentially allows them to extend their plays. Also, all these Zoodiac Xyz monsters can be Xyz summoned with only one material.
Card.
So basically, as soon as you drop your Mole Rat, you're gonna find that they're gonna be just spamming out Xyz monsters
like crazy.
Also, people are playing like the 3 Terror Top and the Taka Tomborg just so they can go into their rank 3
Invoker. And then pull this guy out of the deck.
Invoker.
And then when they pull this out of the deck, they still got their normal summon.
Exactly.
Which means they've still got plays to go off. So this deck, that's the reason this deck's going to be crazy. Is because if they go that card and then they have 2 summons, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. So that's a little bit about the deck generally. I mean, other than that, they have
like
their own
basic combo. Right?
I mean, they've got that, and if they're playing a pure version, they got the Zoodiac spell card that's a continuous that searches the Zoodiacs.
You can also play tanky too, so you have so much searching, so much deck thinning that this deck can pull off.
It's gonna be crazy. So we're gonna start off with some monsters. Probably by far the first monster that we can think of that's going to be the biggest stopper.
Cripple for that deck is Flying Sea. So if you don't know what it does, when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, of course, special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. So to their side of the field in defense position, and then the controller of this card cannot Xyz summon. So as soon as that Mole Rat drops, you can drop Flying Sea, and then basically their turn would have to end. And Mole Rat also has 0 attack. So basically anything you attack into it with is like direct damage.
Exactly.
I've seen people actually main deck 3 copies of this just to counter.
Yeah. If you're not playing a Zoodiac engine, if you're not going to play a Zoodiac or a Zodiac, what they're called in OCG, if you're not going to be playing that, if you're not going to be main decking any of them, you might as well be main decking 3 Flying Sea, because if you run into the deck, it's just that much better. And like a lot of decks this format and next format are going to be pretty heavily Xyz based, or at least have some Xyz in it. So Flying Sea is going to be a great option. Of course, it also depends on your generally your locals too. But if you're going to a big YCS,
expect to see a lot of Zoodiacs for sure. So Flying Sea is probably one of your best options. Next we have Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. So this one is probably the most popular Kaiju just because it allows you to basically tribute an opponent's monster in order to summon it. So you're getting rid of a problematic monster and replacing it with a 2200 attack point.
Wall, pretty much. But it's nice because if your opponent, the thing with this is, if your opponent makes that Xyz summon, and they've got that one that negates stuff, It's just you can just use this guy to negate it, and then
just
like you don't even have to negate it. You just tribute over it. There, you don't even have to bother getting around.
Exactly, you just got rid of it easily.
So yeah, generally that's how it's gonna. That's generally the reason why you'd probably want to see main deck or even side deck Gamma Seals. I'm thinking if you're gonna be playing against, if you're not playing a Zoodiac engine, I think you're gonna want to play a minimum of 5 side deck or main deck options outs to that deck.
Yeah.
So
these are all great cards you can put into the side deck too if you can't find room to in the main deck.
Yeah.
So the next one we'll talk about is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So basically, whenever your opponent would activate a card effect that's already face up on the field, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and then you destroy that card.
Yeah,
so basically, as soon as they summon that Mamole Rat and activate its effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and then the Mamole Rat would get destroyed, and they can no longer Xyz summon.
And the thing with this as well, this card is also good if they go Terra Top, Talkamborg. You make them use 2 cards. They go into Invoker, and then they go to activate Invoker's effect. You slap this card down. They just wasted essentially 1 card because you get the free search and summon.
Actually, yeah, like let's say they start off with Terra Top. Terra Top's effect would activate while it's on the field, allowing them to grab their Taka Tomborg. If you use this on that Terra Top initially, they can no longer then special summon that added Taka Tomborg because Terra Top would be gone. And you literally just shut down their play entirely.
Yeah. But if you wait for the Invoker, then you can stop. Then you can.
That's true too. So
you can basically.
I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Just know when you should use it, right?
Yeah.
Like you can wait for the Mamole Rat. Even you can do it on Invoker. You can do it on Terra Top. Like, you have options.
Chances
with this card.
If they go Terra Top, chances are they probably have another play. So if you can stop that Terra Top play from giving them that advantage, then that's nice. But if they normal summon the Mamole Rat first, then chances are they're not going to be using. They don't have Terra Top to make another play, so you can use the Ghost Ogre, like on that play. So that would be pretty sweet because you kind of generally can stop like a decent board, like a big board. You can make it a more maybe not so tough. And then if they just go for that Mamole Rat, you can stop them completely. So Ghost Ogre is actually going to be another really good option, in this next format. Moving on to trap cards. So basically, there's no spell cards that really hurt them, other than
Regeki, I guess. But that's when they set up their board.
Or if they are somehow being very slow and they didn't open and they have Tenki, you can, I guess they could play, like, when they activate their Tenki, you just chain with your MST. And
or, like, if no one plays it anymore, but Book of Moon is an option. So, like, if they summon Mamole Rat, you can activate Book of Moon, flip it face down. And
so, yeah.
You kind of have a turn to stall there. But I really like Dimension Barrier because basically, as soon as their turn starts, you can flip this face up and call Xyz monsters.
And then they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! For that
and
turn.
then they can't. So, like, even if they want to summon their Mamole Rat, go ahead. It has 0 attack, right?
And they can set it, but all it's going to be is a wasted card.
Mm-hmm.
So, this card, though, on the downside, is a more pricey card for slight budget players. This card is going to be probably your most expensive card in this lineup, maybe excluding the Ghost Ogre, but I guess actually you can get Ghost Ogre.
No, Ghost Ogre comes in the tin now, so
it's cheaper. But Dimension Barrier. But if you're not willing to put out like $300-400 on the new deck, I think you can spare like I don't know, like what $100 for 2-3 of them.
Well, yeah, you know what? I think they're about $60 a pop, so $120 can get you two, and I think 2 in a deck is a really good ratio.
Yeah, but roughly this is going to be the most expensive. But if you don't want to drop $400-500 on the next deck,
yeah,
then this card is probably your best option to go with. It's your cheapest option, but at the same time, I get it, budget players, and there's things, and just
Flying Sea common is like 50 cents, so you can pick up a playset for $1.50.
But we're gonna talk about some other trap cards you can use that will hurt the opponent, the the
the
players.
Zoodiac players.
So Dimension Barrier, though, for all those money players, this one is a very good card. And if you're a budget player and you think, you know what, you'll pick up these two, then that's good too, because this card is definitely it's definitely a good card.
Definitely worth it to have.
Next up, now this is probably one of my favorite ones, and it's the band played on. Probably no one ever hears this card, but this card's actually freaking amazing. It's an ultra rare in the Primal Origin Deluxe Edition, but its effect reads: neither player can special summon monsters with the same level as they control. Plus, neither player can special summon monsters with the same rank as they control. So if your opponent's like summon Memorial Rat and you flip this, they can no longer exceed summon rank 4 monsters, which means that your opponent can no longer exceed summon.
Or even if they start off with the Terror Top too, right? As soon as they summon Terror Top, you activate this. The Takatomborg that they add to their hand cannot be special summoned.
And they cannot normal summon monsters with rank. So even if they're like, okay, fine, I'll do that, but you can't normal summon the Memorial Rat either. Or you can, but it wouldn't do anything. So basically, this card is actually a pretty awesome card to stop your opponent just dead in their tracks, especially. Now, it does hurt you if you're playing an Xyz-based deck, so you probably wouldn't play this one. But if you're playing a Synchro, then that uses multiple levels.
Yeah.
Then you're not too worried. About this card.
Yeah, it won't hurt as much
because,
for sure.
Like, the only thing that might hurt is special summon with the same level. But if you're playing, let's say, I don't know. Let's say you're playing. Well, I mean, if you're playing I guess Nui, this can get in the way slightly, but really, it's not really a big problem because you can just you summon you send, you effect, you gain some levels. It really depends on your thing, but
yeah,
and the band played on doesn't really hurt any Metaphos / Subterror, things like those decks that it maybe cripples them a little bit because they can't utilize the extra deck as much. But because they can't special summon at the same level, it doesn't really matter because you're going to be summoning big level monsters anyway.
Yeah, Pendulum decks can probably get around that easier. So if you'd play a Pendulum deck like Metal Foes or Odd Eyes, something like that.
Yeah, because they have different levels.
Yes, you can't. You'd probably have an easier time.
You can't exceed summon with them, but you could still somewhat of swarm a board.
Yeah.
If you're Pendulum summoning your deck's all level 4 monsters, then yeah, you can't Pendulum summon any of them.
Yeah.
But, well, one anyway. But this card also makes it so you cannot special summon monsters with the same level. So you can still normal summon with the same level. So I guess that works, and Exceed Summon is always special.
But it'll
summon.
just severely slow them down for sure.
So, but this card is definitely good. It can somewhat hurt you, but I mean, if you're playing it in the right,
Zoodiac players more. That's for sure.
Yeah, if you're playing this in the right deck, I think this card is still beneficial. I think this card is a really awesome choice, and it's not just good against the Zoodiacs. It's good against pretty well any deck. Think about the decks where you're playing, if you're playing level 8s or level Synchros even. Wind Witches, when they come out, this card's going to hurt them.
Well,
maybe not so much.
No, not so much Wind Witches. I know...
Well...
More so the Synchro decks would have an easier time.
If
you are playing Yang Zings, literally everything is a different level. So you'll have no problem playing around this card in a Yang Zing deck.
Yeah, true. So, I mean, I guess you could still play this. So, yeah, generally. So, that's enough of this card, though. But for all those people that haven't heard of this card, it's really good. And probably the last card we got here, it's going to be...
Summon Limit. So, it's a continuous trap card. And it says, neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. So, basically, if they want to get to their Memorial, but they don't have it, and they go, Terror Top into Takatomborg, that's the end of their turn because they summon the Terror Top, and then they summon the Takatomborg, and then that's pretty much it. Also, what's really nuts is negated summons count towards this limit. So, if you were to special summon something, and then... Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike just stops it, that still counts as one of the summons. So,
Yeah, so that's fucked. But if your opponent like activates like last chapter and they try to special summon and you negate that, it does not count towards the limit, so that they can still play.
You gotta negate the actual summon, not an activation. But that's still pretty freaking amazing because like
this card is actually nuts. If your opponent goes summon Terratop, you activate this card, they can no longer do anything.
Yeah, they can just drop the Taka Tomborg and that's the end of their turn.
Or
if they normal summon their Mole Rat and then Xyz, you activate this, well, the Xyz is done because if they detach for effect, they can no longer special summon anymore. They hit that maximum. And then the Xyz monster just has 0 attack because Momorat has 0 attack.
Yeah, so it just sits there. So realistically, summon limit again is gonna be I could see like just very, very good card just to sit on. This card may not be as used as something like and the band played on.
Yeah, because this card, it affects both players again, so it'll be difficult to play around. I mean, if you have already established a board, let's say you went first and then you set this card, and then your opponent tries to go off, you activate this. It's like your board's already set now. They can no longer summon, so that'll probably just basically have them scoop and you'd win that game.
Yeah, so these have been our options for, or our opinions for cards that you can use to defeat the Zoodiac Beast / Zoodiac Beasts. So leave in the comment section below if there's anything we missed.
Yeah, any other cards that you think would also help counter the Zoodiacs.
Yeah. So
remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.